Sagittarius, taking a peek at the month of November, there is a lot of exciting potential for breakthroughs and revelations that really help you take your life to the next level. That's because as we are going through the Scorpio season, there's a lot of focus on your mental health, on spirituality, and maybe even just taking stock of your subconscious beliefs or patterns, anything that could be holding you back, and maybe even retraining your mind to go more in the direction of the life you want to live. There's also really exciting and important changes that are happening at the end of this month in your relationships. So overall, as we are getting into your season, there is a lot that's coming ahead for you. If you're looking forward to this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. And I actually do have a little favor to ask before we dive into today's reading. As many of you have noticed, I am now going by a different name. I'm now using Serafino Esoterica across all of my social media. Part of the inspiration for this new name is that I'm really excited to branch out and kind of broaden more than just tarot and astrology videos. I love doing these readings for all of you. It's really such a gift. And I also really want to talk about some other things. So if you have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover, definitely feel free to leave me a comment or send me a message, especially on Instagram. That's probably one of the best ways to get a hold of me. You can actually find all of my links for my social media accounts and my website in the description of this video. I will never reach out to you to solicit my services. Anyone who does this is just a fake account, so you can report and block them. And I just really appreciate all the support that you've given this channel and to me over these years. It really is a gift to do this work, and I'm so excited to continue putting out information and readings for all of you. I'll pull some tarot cards for you in just a moment, Sagittarius, but before I began recording, I actually did pull two animal cards. I have the eagle and the starfish. And this is actually really interesting to me because in some ways these are like opposite energies, right? We have the eagle, which in this deck really signifies moving forward, taking bold action, even if you don't feel totally sure of yourself. It's like building your own confidence by just doing something and allowing yourself to trust in your abilities, to trust in your intuition. You actually are very intuitive this month, particularly in Scorpio season. You could be having some big revelations that you're actually kind of reeling from since the end of October. Interestingly, I'm actually recording this on the 28th during the eclipse in Scorpio. So there really could be this shedding or this change in your subconscious or, you know, some sort of revelation that is very, very significant for you. And part of this is also maybe giving you a new direction or a new course of action. However, you do also have the starfish, Sagittarius. And while this card often indicates other people around us who may be a little superficial, like they can have a beautiful aesthetic or there's like some surface level of harmony, starfish can represent sort of a shallow energy. However, when I really looked at this more closely, starfish often hold on to rocks. They stay on the ocean floor. They will move occasionally, but I really feel like you are stuck on something and maybe holding yourself back in some way. And I think kind of looking at it at a deeper level too, a lot of the time we may blame other people. We may blame our friends, our partners, our family for us not taking the action that we need to take. And so I'm really just opening this up to invitation, not throwing any shade, but maybe you're looking at relationships as an obstacle or other people as an obstacle or other situations as an obstacle, but it's almost like a way you are justifying staying in your comfort zone, staying in one place. And I don't feel like that's going to be fulfilling for you, Sagittarius. Now again, we do have a full moon in your opposite sign at the end of this month on the 27th, and this really could be signifying a change in a close relationship. This doesn't necessarily mean an ending, but it could for some of you. It could also be involving a close friend or someone that you share your life with in a significant way, someone you consider a partner. So there could be this focus on partnership at the end of this month as well, which is also interesting because with eagles, I think of their death spiral mating ritual, at least the mating ritual of the bald eagle, in which they will lock talons and spiral down towards the earth, only breaking apart at the last second before they crash. And it really feels like this, I got your back. Can I trust you? Will you be there when things get intense? And you could be doing that with another person. You could be having this trust fall with another individual, or you could be taking a trust fall with the universe. Either way, this feels like a really dynamic and exciting energy, if not a little nerve-wracking, if I can be totally honest. Interesting. We do have the Ace of Cups coming out with the Five of Wands first. Maybe there was something that came up in a relationship for you in the recent past or before watching this video. Maybe there was a conflict here. And it's interesting because the Five of Wands can honestly indicate like petty fighting. You know, these two people are fighting over how to pack the back of this car, and it's like, it's really not a big deal. Or at least it doesn't seem that way on the surface, but there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of hostility, there's a lot of aggression. And we definitely saw a lot of aggression in the month of October, both globally, but also interpersonally as well. There could have been a lot of conflict or a lot of tension, a lot of things that are being aired out. And it's really important that there is this like openness, this heart-to-heart connection that is going on, and like really being present in that. I feel like there's been some heated conversations or some tense conversations that really required a lot of delicacy or care. But honestly, my first impression of this, even though there could have been some conflict or there could have been some tension, I do feel like there's ultimately love that is still there. You know, there's something very pure at the core. That's just what I'm getting with this Ace of Cups. So it feels like maybe there was some sort of conflict or some sort of tension either with or around a loved one. Could even be a friend with the Three of Cups as well. And I feel like calling on the support of other relationships was important. Maybe some of you were having conflict in a relationship, whether this is romantic, a friendship, a family member. It does kind of feel romantic for a lot of you, or someone you are romantically involved with. There may have been some conflict or some tension or a fight, and it was important to connect with friends, or it is important to connect with friends, and to not make one relationship the center of your world. Which is kind of interesting because I feel like usually Sagittarius is pretty good at that. You know, I say we because I'm a Sagittarius moon myself, tend to be very independent. But I mean, codependency can come up with any zodiac sign, really. And I feel like with a big focus on relationships for you, maybe you are reevaluating things, or maybe you're kind of seeing your relationships in a different way, looking at patterns in your relationships. And I have the Fool here. Yeah, I really feel like a lot of you are ready for something new and exciting. You're calling in this energy, you're manifesting. Or there is a manifestation that's coming forward. And it's interesting because when I saw the Three of Cups, I felt like maybe a way you are having conflict or tension with other people is how you're spending your time. And kind of coming back to the starfish. Because I feel like some of you are connected to a person who really likes to party or who just spends their time in a different way than you. And it just doesn't feel fulfilling to you. It might even be like superficial. Maybe there's even like substance use involved as well. I'm kind of getting that vibe. And it's like, you know, you could have a lot of friends who are just, you know, partying, going to clubs. There's nothing wrong with these things either, but I feel like you just want something different. And maybe in this case, there is something that's destructive about it or unhealthy about it. And it feels like maybe you are looking at these relationships and it's like, oh, these people are kind of holding me back, or I'm spending my time with the wrong people. But I really want you to come back to yourself, Sagittarius. I just have to say this because it's like, when I saw the eagle and the starfish, it's like, it might be tempting to put that blame on other people or to identify relationships as the problem. But it's like, you're still choosing to participate and engage in certain behaviors or in certain patterns. It's kind of taking your agency back. Yes, someone might be in a different phase of their life. It doesn't mean that you have to follow suit. And if that ends up being a thing that breaks up a relationship or ends a relationship, then it's probably just not a relationship that's meant for you. I know this could sound scary for some people, but I really feel like with the Fool, this is actually really exciting because it's a new lease on life energy. And very often when you have this sort of awakening, when you have this lightness, it's like, you know that there's going to be changes and you can't go back to the person you were or to doing the things you have been doing. And maybe for some of you, you kind of do need to distance yourself from other people in order to really, really get this energy to find this lightness again and actually connect with people who are on the same wavelength as you. Obviously doing this in person is ideal. It's wonderful, but we also have amazing online communities as well. Reaching out to people who inspire you, connecting with people who inspire you. That's the word I'm looking for. I feel like you're not in relationships that inspire or motivate you to be a better version of yourself. Maybe there's some attachment to comfort. And I feel like a lot of you want something more. Where's all of this going? Interesting. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles with the King of Swords. This actually looks good for finances for a lot of you. Some of you might be investing in your future, planning something. Some of you might be going into entrepreneurial work or looking at your life in a bigger picture way, where you want to go, how you want to grow. I feel like you're figuring out the person you want to be. For some reason, that's how I'm really seeing this. And the Nine of Pentacles is often a card of abundance. It's also a card of having a space for oneself, really being able to treat oneself. But when I really look at this Nine of Pentacles from this Modern Love Tarot deck, I see someone who loves being in their skin. And it's like you are becoming a person that you love, or you are finding things that you love about yourself. And I feel like for a lot of you with the King of Swords, it's like you have some really great ideas for what you want to do with your life. You have ideas that you want to share with other people. I really feel like some of you are teachers, or you're meant to teach others. That could be spiritual. It could be other things. I just feel like there's something about you coming into a teacher role or a guide role for others. And I feel like a big part of that is also you embodying self-love. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. We have the Empress and actually Justice card coming out together. Empress was the card that came out first, so I'm just going to focus on this one. We have a lot of abundance, a lot of creativity that comes up with this card. And some of you really do have this idea. You have a baby that is growing. You are conceiving of something. And I mean this metaphorically for most of you. For others of you, though, maybe this is like you're realizing you actually want to be a parent. And maybe the people around you aren't interested in that. And, that could be causing some changes in your social circle as well. Or maybe you want children and a partner doesn't. There could be some sort of conversation around children, actually, because we do have Saturn going direct in the sign of Pisces. You could be thinking about home and family a lot, especially later on in the month and into the rest of the year. Saturn actually moves direct in Pisces on the 4th, but it's not something that we always feel right away. Saturn is going to be in Pisces until 2026. So these are themes that you're going to maybe think about a lot. What does home mean to me? What does family mean to me? And kind of looking at your roots here. Maybe some of you are looking at even your mother wound or your mother issues. So that's interesting that that's coming up. But I feel like overall, the Empress does signify something that you are creating, something you want to bring into the world, something that is greater than you or the sum of you. And the Justice card really does feel like finding a balance here, making some sort of decision. And it's almost like what you put out is what you receive. I really, really see that. And like, your actions, in a way, are kind of like your boundaries. And it's interesting looking at this Justice card, looking at these people in couples therapy. Again, you could be working some things out in a relationship. Maybe there's a relationship that isn't, that hasn't been very equal. But I actually look at the Empress, which is the card that came out first, and it feels like you are ready for a real partner. You are ready for a real partnership. And if this doesn't apply romantically, it could actually be applying professionally or in some other area of your life. You're really just looking for someone who can be a real partner to you. Maybe this is involving a Libra energy because both Empress and Justice rule over Venus and Libra, respectively. It could also be a Taurus energy on the table as well. I feel like you're ready for the real deal when it comes to relationships. And that could be you making big decisions with another person you are currently involved with, or prioritizing relationships that are actually aligned with what it is that you want and not settling. We do also have the Ten of Wands here as well. And this is kind of why I was saying, like, some of you are really looking for a partnership. You're looking for someone who can kind of help you carry the burden, carry the load in your life. And again, that might not even just be romantic. That could quite literally be like a work situation or some other situation or area of life. You're ready for love. It could be coming in. And you're not settling. You're not going to keep yourself small. You're not going to keep yourself in one place. I feel like there's this thing about keeping options open with the Eagle as well. It's not being too attached to one person, one thing, one place. Because I really do feel like there is a lot of growth. You have the Nine of Pentacles here. A lot of abundance. Empress can also signify abundance as well. And I mean, with the Sun opposite Jupiter in Taurus, there really could be growth that is happening this month. And for you in particular, this could be involving your work. Just based on where Taurus falls in your chart, there could be some sort of growth. You could be really busy, actually. But overall, I don't think that's something that should be too scary. I think there are people who can help you or support you. And there is a great potential for growth for you. I really feel like you're just ready for the next stage in your life. You're not just ready, you're making it happen. Sagittarius. And that might mean getting out of relationships in which you keep yourself small, or getting out of situations in which you keep yourself small, because you can't hold yourself back anymore. It doesn't feel good anymore. It doesn't, that comfort is now superseded by the desire for something new, for something exciting. And it just feels like it's your turn to have something really important or really significant happening in your life. Maybe some of you have looked at the people around you and it feels like life is passing you by. You are now grabbing it by the horns and you are experiencing something really, really beautiful. But it could be bringing up some big questions about your relationships, about where you're working, where you're living. And I think it's important to be able to go there, especially with all of this Mars energy this month. It is going to be a month where we have to be very direct, very honest, and take action. But I think this is the perfect timing for you because you are in this place where you are already very aware and releasing self-limiting beliefs and letting go of dysfunctional patterns. So I'm actually really, really excited for you this month, Sagittarius. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below what it is that you're releasing, what it is that you are moving towards. Again, you can find all of my links in the description of this video for personal readings, distance Reiki sessions, as well as all of my other social media accounts. I will see you all in the next video, and I'm wishing you a very happy and blessed November. Take care, Sagittarius.